It's a little after 4 a.m. and we just finished packing the boat with fishing things, surfboards, spearfishing things, and camping equipment. 4 of us are heading up the north coast of Trinidad. We're gonna do a one-night camp somewhere up Madamas or Blanchishes. We're not sure yet. We're gonna check the sea state conditions, and once we get up there, we're gonna see what beaches look the best. So the plan is do a little bit of spearfishing on the way up, a little bit of fishing as well, possibly catch dinner, and then once we figure out where the best spot is, we'll set up camp there and then we'll go surfing. As we made our way up the coast, the conditions were looking really nice, so Gregory and myself put on our spearfishing gears, jumped in the water and gave it a little look. I was the first to jump in the water, and the water looked pretty clean from the surface, but when I dove down, it was quite murky and visibility was low. We hit a couple spots, but didn't come up successful with anything. I decided, listen, I'm not going to be diving anymore, so I just jumped in the boat and I was casting line. But Gregory the hero, he jumped in the water and he shot a pretty nice cubera, a perfect size for a camp dinner.
Wait, stone shot like this man is on it.
Today, boy.
Way boy, Greg's boy.
Yeah, some out, some better.
Yeah, boy.
Nothing down there, really.
Man, stone it, yes. Well, now we gotta go up the road and surf, fellas. We have too much food now.
Alright, let's see what's the variety inside that cooler.
We put that fish in the boat and we started headed up the coast. We did a little bit of scouting for surfing spots and camping spots on the way up.
Not very surfable. What you said?
Oh, what's that?
Wet, come in it! Yeah, you said it's called box?
Yeah, nice clothes out there.
Yeah, it just looks slamming.
We eventually find a beach that looks fantastic for camping, and there's a river in the middle of it. So the plan is to get the boat into the river, offload everything from the boat that we don't need for the day, set up camp, get a little bit settled, eat a little food. Once we're settled and happy with everything, we're just gonna head back out the river and go surfing or fishing or whatever it is to do, we're gonna do it. So I drop off Gregory on the beach and he scouts it out. He says it's a little bit sketchy. So we're just like, all right, well, let's lighten the load a little bit. So Josh and Reese both go in. Reese goes and gives me a second opinion. Reese also gives me the same feedback. He's like, listen, it looks pretty shallow and he's not 100% confident in it. However, I'm kind of looking at it. Of course, I'm not there, but it just, in my opinion, I think that I could get to the river mouth and 4 of us have the ability to lift the boat up the beach. Because it's a relatively light boat, and if all 4 of us are out and we have like jugs of fuel and thing inside as well. If we take out all that stuff, we could lighten it up, and my thoughts that I was just gonna go into the river quite easily. However, there's a shore break running. There's a little bit of swell on a shore break, so that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. But I'm quite confident that it'll run smooth.
So we are trying to get this boat on the beach. We're gonna try to get it up the river. Reese, Josh and Gregory jumped off the boat because we need less people on the boat, so it's easier to control the boat coming in. As soon as I hit the beach, they're gonna help us, and then we're gonna hopefully trim the engine up and take it up in the river. Super sketch. Let's go get it! Spin the boat, come.
So I'm coming in with the boat and I ground off way earlier than I expected, at least 20 feet before where I thought the engine was going to meet the sand. And in my head I'm like, alright, this is a little bit soon, but it still looks alright. Greg is already reached the boat. Just a matter of turning the bow out because I don't want waves to come over the stern. And we're just going to slowly bring it back into the river. We got the boat spinning around, but unfortunately in the process, 3 waves hit the boat, and each wave put quite a significant amount of water into the boat, just making it worse and worse for the situation. The boat got heavier, it became a lot more challenging to move the boat, and with more water in the boat, gunnels are lower, more waves got in, and the situation just kept getting worse and worse.
It's not gonna go.
So at this point in time, pretty much all the phones that were in hand were put away because we needed all hands on deck to kind of help the situation. The boat was too full to move. It had too much weight and too much water in it. It was on the sand, so it couldn't get any deeper than where it was, which was just the gunnels a little bit out of the water, and it was pretty full on the inside of the boat. We were making like suggestions like, could we get it back out in the sea and drive off, but it was clearly too late at that point in time. We can't drive the boat off. As soon as we push it off into the deep water, it's just going to sink immediately. So the only thing we could have done at that point in time is take everything we could out of the boat. So we took the cooler, we took the gas out, everything that we could have physically lifted out of the boat, we took out. And inch by inch, 4 of us kind of got it a little bit into the river, a little bit in the river, and as we got a little bit higher, we'll take a little bit of water out. And then we inched it in a little bit more, and we took a little bit of water out. And that's how we got it into the river mouth.
Go, 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 go! Too much weight, boy. Huh? Too much weight. With what? With bucket. Huh? So this is our campsite. The boat is floating. It was definitely my fault. I take full blame for that. But we are all alive and we're all well. Check her out. Took a lot of time to get all the water out, get all the sand out. It was just complete and total chaos. So we're not trying to get it back through the river to get it back out to the sea because that's too hectic right now. We're hoping tomorrow that the sea calms off. If the sea calms off, we're gonna push out on high tide. But the plan was to come in, offload everything, and then go back out and fish, which clearly didn't go as planned. So we're in here now, we're gonna set up camp, and we're probably gonna stay here until tomorrow's high tide. Might do a little river fishing, a little shoreline fishing from the beach, but less fishing today, more we'll have a few beers to drink. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up a fire and we have a few fish to cook, so should be a good day considering how bad it was so far. See you guys on the cook up next. Clean up that fish for the girl, Darius. Alright, so we have the food, we have the seasoning, boom, we have the fire going, fire 1 and fire 2. That's Josh girl there. That's fire for mosquito and sandfly. Or just to season up the fish and get some stuff on the grill and have an epic feast. Yeah, gonna see some hammocks there. This is Reese and Josh setup. Looking real nice at the top. Got the old bug net for the mosquitoes and them. And then they have the absolutely amazing view to go to bed and wake up to, which is pretty sick. I'm not as good with my spot. My spot's way further back here. Yeah, man, so you don't want?
Yeah, boy, that'd be good.
Hey, this is Gregory's spot. So he has a pretty good view too. And I am all the way in the back here. Why am I in the back, you ask? Because I don't get preference on anything for the rest of the trip. Because I sank the boat. So that's the setup there. The boat's down there, as you guys could see. So we're gonna finish up this meal. Food tastes great. Gregory shot that Cubera, which was fantastic on the meal, perfect size too. And then we caught a barracuda when Gregory and myself were in the water. All right, so we're set for the night, and I'll catch you guys a little bit later.
We finished up our meal and took a little walk down the beach. The area was absolutely amazing. Sunset was beautiful, trees, birds, ocean, everything was just, it was just pristine and relaxing. But the problem was, the swell is supposed to drop tomorrow. You would think that's a good thing. We thought that's a good thing. It is a good thing. The swell didn't drop. For the entire day today, it's been growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm a little bit concerned about tomorrow, to be honest.
Good morning everyone, just woke up from the camp. It's been a really nice morning so far. Everybody had a pretty good sleep. It was icy cold last night. Unfortunately we woke up and waves are still bombing, as you could probably hear in the background. We have to attempt trying to leave the river today and it looks super sketchy right now. The plan is pack up everything. Right now we're cooking breakfast. We may take a little river fish before we leave. Hopefully that goes good. We could catch a fish or two just for fun, and we're gonna head out. But waves are looking, shore break is kind of unforgiving right now, if you want to take a look at it. So this is the river here. That's the river mouth, which is a really small river mouth, and we need to get past these breakers here. And those waves are not small at all. I don't know how they look in the video, but that's way taller than our bow is. And yes, we're hoping not to have a reoccurrence of yesterday, but It looks unforgiving. We need to time it very well. We need to plan it very well. And we need to have luck on our side too, and hopefully no sets come when we're leaving.
So yesterday when we were setting up camp, we saw two guys walking on the beach. And it was two hunters. They came to us and they introduced themselves. And they were like, listen, we're gonna be in the area. You may hear some gunshots. Don't be concerned. And we're like, all right, cool. Today, Javon, which is one of the hunters, came to speak to us. He's super friendly and super talkative. And he's like, listen, we saw the whole ordeal yesterday, and if y'all want, we could give you all a hand. And we're like, oh, you saw that? Yeah, we probably could use an extra hand today when we're leaving. So we spoke to Javon for some time, and now it's time to get everything packed up. What we need to do, we need to get this engine started to make sure it's working, because it got completely soaked down yesterday. It didn't get submerged, but we want to make sure everything's in order. What we want to do is probably give the engine a good run, but we have nowhere to run except in the river. So Reese and myself, we're going to head up the river, and then we're going to drive the boat flat out. And hopefully everything runs smooth with the engine. I mean, it's a Yamaha 2-stroke 85. They're built bulletproof, so I'm not really too concerned at this point in time.
Pinch around here. I want to speed up, eh? Huh? They're getting worried. So we're gonna take it head on, flat out. So we have two of our friends there at this reach. We're not gonna fish anymore in the river. We're just gonna launch the boat, and it looks super sketchy, and I'm super scared. Reese is on the boat with me, and we're gonna launch it now. So let's see.
I want y'all to understand how I feel about this situation, because it's a very serious situation to me. These waves are significantly bigger than the waves that we dealt with yesterday. Like, these waves are 6 foot, maybe even 7 foot faces coming in. Our boat is probably like a foot off the sea surface. Like, we don't have that much on our gunnels. Our bow isn't that much higher, maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet. So anything bigger than 2 feet is coming over our bow. And it's a lot of water moving on these waves. There are serious consequences if a set catches me on the way out. It doesn't even need to be a big one. But if it is a big one, it's just gonna make the situation worse. It's not if the boat will sink. The boat will sink if I'm caught with a wave on the way out. It has to be timed perfectly. We have to wait until there's a lull, and we have to have the boat positioned perfectly. Everything has to go perfect. Because if it doesn't go perfect, boat could flip. I could get hurt. The boat could fall on me. I could potentially die.
You're gonna be pushing us across, Josh.
It's coming after these, eh?
Nah, well, real waves coming. Reese, if a set catch me, think to go sideways and make a turn and try to come back around to catch that a smaller thing? Huh? Keep it a little bit on this side. Keep it a little bit on this side.
After this is the car.
No, no, wait. Watch out. I can see the waves, so let me tell you when to go.
Remember, we're gonna move on the last wave, eh? You don't want to stick and wait for the last
Boss,
wave.
I wait until I see it calm, Gregory.
Nah. There's still our waves coming. We need to take our time. We need to take our time.
Let me get it flat, Marco. Let me get it flat.
Push it. No. There's waves coming. There are waves coming. No, there are waves coming. I am seeing waves. Just wait. Huh? Yes, just wait. We have, listen, boss, listen, we're not in no rush. We have a lot of time. Let me tell you something, if any size wave, small or big, we can't get over it. We need to time it.
Holding the Aries.
No, wait. I need to look at it. I need to look at it. Wait. It could be good. We'll wait for the second one. You gotta wait for the second one. Keep the boat in the deep. This side. Go. Wait on this little one. Alright, push on this one.
Wait.
Nah. Alright. Yeah, go. Think so, boy. Nah. That one coming. No, that one coming. We gotta go back. We have to go back. There's more coming. We gotta wait again. Huh? We're taking on water. Take it back. Take it right back. We're taking on water. No, we're taking on water in the back. We gotta go back. We have to go back. The boat is taking on water. We're filling up, boss. We're filling up.
You think you can start and go after?
No. Boss, there's a tail. Gotta build.
Push back.
Everybody back. Let me explain what's happening here. We're trying to get the boat in a position where it's easy to get it in the ocean, right? Problem is, the river water is pushing on the back of the boat, and because of how the boat is designed with the cutout where the engine holds on to, we don't have a bracket. So the water quite easily comes over the back of the boat, that same water that's flowing out to the river. Once we hold the boat in position, the water wants to come over the back of the boat. And that's exactly what happened. It started filling up the boat. We can't have any water in the boat for when we do this. We have to be as light as possible because I need the boat to respond appropriately. I can't have that additional weight. And when I slam the throttle down, that the boat takes long to plane off, or all the water goes to the back of the boat and puts it bow up and digs the back of the boat further into the sand or the engine into the sand. It's not a mistake that we want to make. I rather us fix it now than attempt to do something with 25% more weight in the boat because it has water in it. Don't want to make these mistakes. So we took it back onto the beach, took it back into the river mouth, and we bailed out the water to give it a second attempt.
Check that, there is check now. Take a look.
See after this wave here? Very good.
Nah. Yeah? Chris. Alright. No. Left.
No, Brett, you jump in, Brett. No, come here over the boat.
Go, 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 go!
Yeah, Brett, go. Go. Stop.
It's not starting! It's not starting!
Bring it back. Right. Go inside, so yeah, no, go inside.
It's not starting! The boat not starting at all!
Right, go. Right. Go inside. You can go, Brett. Go. Wait.
All right.
Wait. What's it going to you? Wait. Go. No, wait, now.
No, we gotta go back. Yeah, do it now. To the right, push! To the right. Come, Josh, come on this side, don't pull. You have to push.
What happened on this attempt was, I don't know when it happened. Maybe when I was getting into the boat, maybe when I was coming out of the boat, but clearly I knocked the throttle into gear. The engine's not going to start when it's in gear. It's just how it's designed as a mechanism to protect itself. So that's why the engine wasn't starting. And then I guess because I was supposed to do everything so fast and react that way, like, because I didn't get the engine started at that moment I was supposed to, I was like, oh my God, like, we can't do this now. And I trying to figure out why it wasn't starting. And once I figured it out, I put the throttle down. I was like, let's go. And then it already had water in the boat and everybody screaming at me like, nah, it's too late, stop, wait. And there was a bit of chaos and confusion at that point in time. We just realized, just like, all right, let's do this whole thing over again. Bring it back in the river mouth, let's bail it out, and we have to reset everything and give it another attempt.
There you go. Yeah. Race. I know my hand is shaking. Sorry about the language, but wow! They're coming out on the boards, those boys coming up on the surfboards. They tell us help us out a lot, boy. That was real sketch. That's all I have to say. I'm real happy we're out today, out in the ocean. And we're gonna get some fishing done. I'll wait for them boys to come in the boat with the boards and the bags. What a day, boy. What a weekend. We're all safe. Thank you. Let's go. Guys, I'm so happy we survived that ordeal. Jump in quick, let me go help Josh now. It's rest right there. Got it? Okay, bring in any boat quick. Let me go for Josh and grab him quick. Hold it.
Huh? Man, the prop of that engine was like 6 inches from my chest.
Serious. Sketch
When you
us.
took off there. Take the board now. That was
Josh is struggling too.
Huh? That was
That was, I'm happy we survived.
That was a question.
Alright fellas, we survived.
How to kill some fish.
And I'm gonna lie, Red, when I made it over that first wave, I just slammed the throttle down, trimmed down the engine. I was like, please, please hop away behind us. I looked at it, saw no waves. I was like, oh my God. I ain't gonna lie. I was really emotional that way. I didn't think we was gonna make it out alive.
So we got out safe. Yes, I know everyone. There's a bunch of experts out there gonna tell me how much things I did wrong. Yes, we made mistakes. Yes, it was a learning situation. Everything didn't go perfect. There's a lot of different elements that came into play. We have a small boat. We're trying to work with timing, trying to work with a little bit of precision. Made some mistakes. Listen, we got out safe. Everything's all right. Just happy to be out. Like, y'all have no idea how relieved I am right now, because that situation could have ended very badly. Now we're gonna go surfing. We're gonna head up the coast to a spot that we've surfed in the past before. Waves are a little bit smaller than where we just came from, so the swell doesn't get to the spot as much. However, the waves tend to be a little bit better, so you could ride them for a little bit longer. So that's what we're looking for, and we're gonna have some fun.
No, let me take it closer. Hurry up. All right, go. Yep. Wow.
After we stayed at this spot for a little while, we decided to go to another spot that had much bigger waves, was much heavier and much nicer, but it was also super sketchy. It's because the waves are so big, not for the boats or anything, just really heavy, really big waves, but it was a ton of fun. Ton of licks as well too. That's it for this episode, folks. A lot of little things mixed into this one. Camping, surfing, spearfishing, cooking. You should have had fishing, a little bit at least, but unfortunately, because of how things turned out, we didn't get to fish. So sorry about that, no fishing on this one. Reese did catch that barracuda fishing, but y'all didn't get any footage of that because nobody took footage of it. So you could blame Reese for that one. Anyhow, hope you all enjoyed the episode, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace!